Hello, everyone. This is Rob Viglione, FinPunk, with the Zencash Biweekly Update, January 24th, 2018. Welcome. We have some really cool updates, as always, and hopefully some nice surprises for you guys, and want everyone to see how the project is progressing. So, one thing that I would like to do, because these meetings tend to be expanding with our team, I'm going to try to speak to this a little bit in a little bit more of a compressed fashion than usual. And I would also like to ask the team members to, try to keep your slide updates to a little bit of a minimum as we're going through. So, okay, so the big picture stuff that we have going on over the last 2 weeks. You can see here a really cool picture of Zen Yoda with a little mining rig under his desk. I think that's it definitely made my week. I can't stop enjoying myself when I see that picture. But so the big things we have going on now. This is Q1, and on our roadmap, you'll see we have a few really big areas that we've been talking about. Now, radical usability is the focus right now. And radical usability, I'll talk to that in more detail of the things that we're doing right now to push for that, and a few different areas that I think will be very important for the project. And then, of course, we have our development updates and our secure node system updates. Some really good news there. And then we'll hand off to our marketing team and then talk about the regional activity with the country managers discussing their sections. Okay, so the first thing that we always talk about are the community member highlights. I love this, and I love Marco's bow tie here in this picture. Great job, Marco, with creating content. I saw your secure node infographic was awesome. So thank you very much. Definitely deserve a shout out for that. Spencer, always doing a great job in the community. So Spencer, I know personally back where I live, and he's just awesome with supporting meetups. And the last meetup, he broke out some mining hardware and was doing live demos with Zen mining for people and working with offline wallets to show people how to use these things practically. So thank you very much, Spencer. And Mauro, thank you very much for pushing the Coin Falcon listing request. That was great. We definitely need to keep pushing that on our business development front. These are really important things for us to do. So I appreciate your support there. And as always, ZenChick is compiling community member highlights. So whenever you see people kind of standing out and just going above and beyond, please reach out to her, and she will be adding them to our growing list. Okay, so now talking about the big focus area for what we're working right now in Q1, and specifically what we're working in the next few weeks, radical usability. So we know one of our missions all along from the start was to be one of the most useful privacy coins on the market. And the way that we initially started and put together our early products was really to get things out there so that people could start using our system. But now what we're doing is we're focusing hard on a coherent usability effort. The first part of this is product consistency. So we have some pretty good products on the market right now, but we're trying to do some brand standardization and focusing on user experience, where we're actually bringing in UX experts and user interfaces. So UX and UI, tackling both of these fronts at the same time. And you're going to see this with some of our next set of flagship products that are going to be released. So there's really good stuff in the pipeline there. We're reworking the code framework as well. So we're doing some rigorous process improvements in the back end for the team. We're restructuring the code. So we have a crack blockchain core team working on making the code more efficient, and in particular, catching us up on Zcash upstream improvements, all in one fell swoop. So our code base will be looking significantly more improved, which I think goes towards just product quality and system quality. So these are the kind of things that on the surface you might not notice, but on the back end, having much more professionalized code is extremely important, particularly as we start adding new feature sets and scaling. Okay, and then another very fun project that I'm really happy to announce is ZenHelp. So ZenHelp is going to be our own organic service desk system. where we're going to have a ticketing system for people that have any kind of issue or questions on any of our products or the system. They can submit formal tickets. We track the tickets. We integrate the tickets into a database, and we perform analysis on the tickets that we receive as well, so that we can intentionally improve across all of our product and user-facing areas. This will feed into a comprehensive knowledge base, and everything will be done with a user focus where we just show that our users are valued customers. So everything that we're going to be doing will be to improve the user experience. And this entire set of things that we're doing right now, these 3 areas, are all about professionalizing our products and our organization. So good stuff in the pipeline. Expect some really fun announcements and products to be released soon. Now, moving to the development, we have a couple slides worth of development updates here. So you can see a picture of. I'm actually in the background taking the picture here. This was with our new blockchain core developers. You've got Frank and Pierre here, 2 of the guys, doing some really fun stuff where we're mapping out some of our system architecture on a whiteboard in California. So that was a really good meeting. And these guys are a powerhouse and are already doing just a ton of work in the background that you'll be seeing more of. So some of the things they're doing right now to start are a secure node architecture review. In fact, they've already submitted some basic improvement with like database indexing. They've been refactoring our wallets in the background and working on kind of a flagship wallet with consistent brand and user interface, user experience. And they're doing critically our core blockchain improvements. So what they're doing is they're going to be catching us up over the next couple of weeks to all of the Zcash and Bitcoin upstream improvements from when we launched. What we've been doing has been handpicking some of the critical improvements and then merging those into our code base. But now they're going to catch us up completely in the next couple of weeks, restructure the code base so that it makes a little bit more sense from a developer's perspective of partitioning the code into what is Bitcoin, what is Zcash, and what is Zencash, so that whenever there are improvements, we could very quickly and seamlessly integrate them. And then when we're building on top of it, we can easily do that and know which sections of the code base are appropriate to add new commits. They're also doing a proposal, or we're also doing a proposal system that Dum's been working on as Jonathan, and that's in open beta testing right now with the team. So that's really cool. You can check it out right now at proposal.zensystem.io and tinker with it. It will be going live in the near term, and this will just be a much more elegant way for community members who want to participate and contribute to the project to submit proposals to do work to the system, and we can have the team adjudicate these proposals, the community comment on them, and ultimately vote on them so we can decide where to put our resources. And some of the pictures you can see here on the bottom of the screen are part of this flagship wallet kind of consistent product development that we're doing. You can see some snapshots here. We'll have actual mock-ups ready for the community to start tinkering with by the next live stream, so that you can give us your direct feedback and see how things work and feel, and you give us feedback so that we can do any last-minute improvements or updates before we release the products officially. Okay, so the second development slide we have, so the Horizen team is always working really hard, and every update they have some new code improvements for us. For this live stream, they did an improvement to the importing private keys from Swing are now seamlessly importable into Horizen. There was a compatibility issue with the way the keys were encoded previously. Now the Horizen wallet is Linux compatible and available in 5 languages so far, and they're adding new languages all the time. Swing has had some cosmetic fixes, and a Linux installation guide was released. And we have David has a development team that is actually reworking our the most popular mining pool software, which is ZenHelp. They're taking another stab at it. And actually, if you look in the background at the code base for ZenHelp, it could use some improvement. So that's what these guys are doing. They're streamlining the code and hopefully going to be improving our pool mining software. And then even from there, there's some suggestions to have them not only just improve this particular pool mining software, but then to look on the market to see what other pool mining software is available and tailor the best on the market. We have some ideas of some of the best or most decentralized mining pool software available. So we'll be looking to integrate that and make that available to our pool operators in the near term. Okay, so now getting into ZenHelp, our service desk system. So this is actually built on Jira in the background. It's a ticketing system where we're going to have, I believe, we're going to be the first cryptocurrency to offer a dedicated tech support system. So this just shows you how the industry is evolving and how we're trying to take the lead on that evolution. Where now instead of just being a pure kind of like open source, hobby shop type project where, things get done ad hoc, we're actually creating a professionalized customer support system because we realize we're getting kind of recurrent issues with some things and recurrent questions. Well, now it's time to professionalize and make sure that we have a dedicated team to take care of this. So the first part of this will be monitoring social media channels. Obviously, this is something we do all the time anyway, but now we're professionalizing that. So we're going to have ideally 24/7, round the clock monitoring and someone available to respond to questions on social media. We'll have tickets, a ticketing system. So we issue tickets to respective team members and dedicated customer support staff in the background so that we can answer questions in a timely manner. And all of this will be fed into a wiki page, which will be really nice, a nice wiki page for a knowledge base so that people can very quickly reference. Most likely issues that people have are recurring issues that others have had in the past. So having a knowledge base is absolutely critical, and it's about time that we get this going. So thank you, Mac. Thank you, Rowan. Thank you, Gustavo. And thank you for all the guys working this in the background. And this will all be feeding into a database system so that we can analyze the recurrent issues that we have and then feed this intelligence to our developers to improve our products, right? So this is our first line product improvement system, is getting direct feedback from the community. So this is all designed to ensure the customers have a nice Zen experience. Thank you, ZenCheck, for that. Okay, so the other really, really big news here, I'm going to just say, I want to announce we're finally caught up on secure node payments. This was a huge deal and so much work going on in the background. So thank you guys, DevMan, Chronic, and everyone else working this in the background. I'm super happy that we're caught up and we have over 6,000 nodes on the network. This is awesome. We are very quickly moving to be the most decentralized node architecture in the industry. But DevMan, if you are available, maybe you could talk to the section as usual.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. As it shows here, 6,000 plus nodes. The big thing is the payment system. We had a little bit of a false start last month when we tried working through the system, but a lot of work has gone on in the back end to optimize that and to clean up all the different issues that were caused by server issues and other things that were happening in the infrastructure and provider updates that were unscheduled, things like that. But with the payment system, we've caught up with paying out, I think, over 9,000 Zen in over 163,000 individual payments. So that was a good milestone to hit for us. And we'll be moving to a more scheduled weekly payment system. There's still some little cleanups to have to do, and there's some updates coming out to the servers that will be rolled out to get the phantom downtimes and other sporadic issues that are still showing up. But it's been a good learning experience, taking all the feedback that everybody has been providing and working on the tracking system to do all those updates. We will also have some sort of claim system. That's the next thing, to compensate the individual operators for things that were missed in the first round of getting all these initial payments out. And we'll be working also on the node architecture. There's another step on scalability that we're working through. We're just kind of doing this all step by step. And that should allow us to expand the secure node network. Back to you, Rob.
Awesome. Thank you, Alan. Okay, the next set of slides, we can move over to marketing. Just move forward here. Tatiana, are you available to give the update?
Hi, how's it going? Hey,
Awesome,
everybody.
great.
Cool. So just some quick updates for you guys. The new website, we're hoping to have it done by the end of the month. The guys are working around the clock. But as you know, the faux website, the faux new website is already up. So at least we've got all of our branding in order. On that subject, the brand guidelines, we're making the brand board and the guidelines, the official one, it'll be available later this week. CMH will provide both documents in both Discord and the Zen shared drive. The quick overview brand guidelines are currently available. They're pinned in the Discord marketing channel if anybody wants to see. Please make sure that everybody is following these guidelines for all designing and branding layout. We want everything nice and consistent so it looks really nice and professional. Please don't use the old logo. It's already been retired and it will be confusing for people. And then if you have any branding questions, Callie at Crypto Media Hub can certainly help you. And her email is cally@cryptomediahub.com. The next slide is, I don't know why my slides are getting funky. Okay, here we go. We had some secure node banner ad results listed over here if anybody wants to look. There were over 4 million people that viewed the ads. We had an average 0.11% click-through rate. And BTC Media's feedback was, this is actually not accurate. They called me back and then they said that it was actually about that. Shouldn't be in here. I'm sorry. I'm taking it out. Anyway, the brand awareness ad results was 153,000 people were reached. Almost 17,000 people took action by clicking or viewing a video, learning more, etc. And then 142,000 people visited Zencash due to the Facebook ads. Wow, that's a lot of people. Cool. So happy to say that all of our numbers are really up quite significantly. So that's great. Especially on Twitter, our impressions are really doing well. We're up 327%. The profile visits are up 69%. Mentions are up 69%, and followers are up by 4,441. So obviously that's great. And the January month analytics will be provided on the next call. All of these are obviously positive, and we're almost at 16,000 followers on Twitter. So please, if you guys, do any follow Fridays, make sure that you include us. We always like reaching more people. So we're dependent on the community for that as well as our own efforts. We have close to 1,800 followers, which was our December goal. So we reached that, which is great, but we still need more people on Facebook. We've been, doing some promoted posts and that's helping. But I think when people just share it with others, I think that's really great. So yeah, please let your friends know. And we will be moving forward. We actually internally at Crypto Media Hub, we just got a new senior designer. We have Michael, but now we've also got Kirk, who's really awesome. We've been really happy working with him. And he has a background in doing a lot of GIFs and movement and video posts. So I think it'll be fun to experiment with that, not only on our posting, but also when we do another banner ad spread. Incidentally, I shared some marketing options with Rosario yesterday, and we'll be reviewing them, potentially sponsoring some new shows. So it's always really neat to be able to sponsor not only banner ads, but the community, especially, the diehard libertarians, just because they're some of our best advocates. And the people who are applying to be sponsored were actually already running secure nodes and everything. So I thought that was really neat. Our targeted audience were men and women who live in Sydney, London, Tel Aviv, Moscow, Kiev, and New York. And that was chosen from the top locations shown in the Google Analytics, age 18 to 40. We reached 22,000 people, 22,453. And then engagement was about 16,500 for 3-second video views. I don't even know why this is, but we have a lot of women. So I think that's great. It's very different than the rest of crypto. So yeah, we've got a lot of women engaging with us, and about half of them are the people overall are between 25 and 34, and 80% are in the Ukraine. As a Ukrainian, I'm very proud to see that they're adopting Zen. And yeah, I don't know. Does anybody have any questions? I think that's those are all the slides that we have for now.
Awesome. Thank you, Tatiana. So that's great. Things are definitely moving forward, and we're expanding our marketing activities quite nicely. So I expect to see continued great results there. Now, onto the country lead updates. David, you're the first one on deck. You want to jump in?
Actually, really quickly, guys, I just wanted to say one thing on a personal note. Is it possible for me to jump back in before we move to David?
Sure.
Well, the thing is I couldn't even hear him. But anyway, yeah, I mean, there's no real way to actually check. But I just wanted to make a comment. I know that people are, really enthusiastic about the project, and then sometimes people have some criticism with how certain things are being handled. I would really just like to ask everybody to maybe be a little nicer about it. Sometimes people are really rude, and it's not. It's kind of demoralizing. So if you have constructive criticism, we'd love to hear it. We're always open to that. But if you're just going to be kind of nasty and say marketing team sucks or something, like, our numbers are proving that we don't suck. And if people have good suggestions, then happily make them. But remember, there's people that work with me. They're like human beings that have feelings. So, this is a community, initiative, right? And it's wonderful to be a part of that community. But if everybody could maybe, like, I don't know, tone down the nastiness. And there's not that many people doing it, but it would just be more productive. And if you guys want us to do a good job and continue to do a good job, it'd be really nice if people could stop just, I don't know, being so negative without any kind of productivity to the commentary. Like, specific suggestions versus just saying this sucks would be great for us, and it'll help us be more effective. And I think that that's really what the goal is for everybody. So it's just been something on my mind lately, and I just thought it would be good to address it.
All right. Thanks, Tatiana. I'll be the first to not be nasty to you guys.
Thanks.
So,
You're never nasty. You're always sweet.
Cool. David, your connection was a little bit off previously. Do you want to jump in, and hopefully it's a little bit better? David?
Yeah, Rob, this is Rolf. I don't hear him either. Probably want to do his update for him, or move on.
Yeah. Sounds good. You know what? He's probably going to jump right back on. So, Arno, are you available? Oh, there you are, David. Yeah, might as well just go ahead. Yeah. Unfortunately, David, it's not really coming through very well on your end.
Let me try to fix it. Yes, I'm gonna try to fix it. Okay, you guys keep going, and I'll
that's okay.
Back in.
You're here now, but we can hear you great now, David. Go ahead.
Okay, great. Hey, well, first of all, I wanted to say I hope my wife is not watching this presentation, because, as you remember, I was in a month ago and the BBC Awards, and since then, especially women, started to go. So I really hope I don't get
now you're cutting out, David. I'm sorry. We'll go ahead and move on. And but we talked earlier today. There's a lot of great activity. There's a Russian Zencash Facebook page which is having a lot of traction, and the Russian version of the web page. I know Alex went out to a meetup group and did a presentation there, and David seems to get all over the world, but because he helped me set up a meetup for this Thursday, where I'm going to talk about a little bit of mining with a group in Vancouver. And so happy to do those kinds of discussions. And David's also heading up with the assistance of some of our developers, contracting a team to update and check out the ZenHelp mining software. And
Actually, can you guys hear me better now?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. This Discord is full of surprises, but I'm back. I think, Rolf, you said already quite a few things, and I'll kind of piggyback on that and wrap it up real quick. But first of all, I was going to ask Tatiana a personal favor. While I'm completely empathic about people, being maybe a little bit positive about, I think they're doing an awesome job. But Tatiana, can you be a little bit gentle on the numbers from Ukraine? Because as you remember, about a month ago, I did a presentation at BTC Awards in Kiev, and for the last two meetings, the number in Ukrainian women have been going up. So I may get in real trouble with my wife if she sees this presentation. So
That's very funny.
just
We can't stop the ladies from getting into Zen. I'm sorry. You'll have to work that out.
It's all good, but I kind of had to laugh about even last meeting. I think the numbers were unusual. I have no idea why. I certainly would not take credit for it myself. But anyway, the quick summary of my slides deck is that we are marketing away in the Russian-speaking community. We spun up and now it's operational. Russian Facebook, Russian Twitter. By the way, I really want to mention Alex's contribution to Twitter. He literally built it, and now it's fully ongoing. There is another Russian blog that North Dakota created for us, and there's a lot of questions and answers there that actually some of which we're doing for the bigger worldwide team through our Jira ZenHelp. So it's almost like a little prototype. He posts periodic updates about secure nodes, etc. Uh, Rolf Blockops will be giving a video lecture to Canada crypto community tomorrow, actually, and they're happen to be big fans of Rolf from his, even pre-Zen life while he was doing mining. And one little update about the merchant integration. ARVPN is a really nice, true 5-star service for VPN providers. They're already started to accept Zen. And I really think this is a great use case of how to use the ultimate privacy coin as well for VPN services for people who want to be private. And last but not the least, I think Rob mentioned earlier, my personal goal for this quarter is to really perfect the Xenome software, because there's been talks about, let's do this fix, let's do that patch, and at the end I just decided, well, let's just kind of revamp it and try to almost like rebuild it, to the extent possible rather than applying patches. So I think that's all on my end. Hope you guys heard it.
Yeah, that was great. Thanks,
Cool, thanks. Yeah. Next up is Arno. Are you available, sir?
Everyone can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I just want to recap the marketing, because the Coin Hero interview, our German article about ZenCash and ZenCash Team Germany, reached around 3,600 people on Facebook. So I think, yes, Facebook is working very well. And Tatiana, you're doing a good job. Very good job.
Thank you. It's not me, it's my team.
Yeah, true. Then I have two big points. I don't want to go through all the single points. First big thing is the Crypto Asset Conference in Frankfurt. I am not sure if Rob is going there in person or have a Skype channel. At least I think I will be there for 1 or 2 days. And this is about assets, mostly maybe tokens and stuff like this. But we know some guys from KI.
Arno, you might be seeing my smiling face in person there.
Yeah. Oh, great. Cool.
Yeah.
Good. Looking forward to that. And then the second point, with this corporation, the one which is it's in progress. Like I'm planning and talking to these guys, Deutsche Bitcoin eingetragene Genossenschaft. They are planning a big project. They want to place 3 ATMs for withdrawing and deposit of fiat to cryptocurrencies, and talked to me because they saw one of my presentations, which I gave at the meetups, and they have right now some exchange problem. They need to register the business account. That's why they are talking to me and to us. I'm figuring out how we get progress there, and of course, ZenCash will be one of the coins like Bitcoin and Litecoin and Ethereum, which will be used in this ATMs. But not much fixed yet. But we are looking forward to that. So that's all from my side.
Great. Well, next up would be Mr. Rowan.
Perfect. Hopefully you can all hear me okay. So we had a meetup in Edinburgh in Scotland, which attracted 200 people. We had Professor Bill Buchanan talking about cryptography and encryption, and ZenCash sponsored the event with some beer and pizza. So we got our logo up on the main screen. Great exposure for us there. We've also sponsored a 24-hour esports charity event, which got us some newspaper coverage in the UK. And most importantly, opened up numerous communication channels with quite a few fairly significant exchanges, which is obviously very important for us at the moment. I just wanted to give a bit of a shout out to Mac. He's put a huge amount of work into the Jira service desk, which is very, very close to being ready. So we're aiming to go live with the service desk on the 29th, which is this coming Monday. Mac's still got quite a lot of work to do there, but he'll be working flat out and making sure that comes up and works properly. And then lastly, JCP has been working on brand boarding, helping out the guys over at CMH, and he's also working on some infographics for secure nodes. So we'll hopefully have them to share pretty soon. And that's all for me just now. Back to Rob.
Awesome, Rowan. Thank you. Well, let me hand it over to Andreas for the Scandinavian Market update.
Good evening, everyone. Here's a quick update from Scandinavia. So first off, ZenCash Scandinavia will be, oh, sorry about that. Will be present at the Crypto South meetup in Kristiansand, Norway. And I hope to see you all there if you're living in Southern Norway. Blockchain, Bitcoin, ZenCash talk. More meetups are planned for the coming weeks and months, where I'll be speaking at some of them about ZenCash. Also, we got some interesting talks going with potential partners. More to come on that also later. Besides, we're doing continuous marketing and social media and reaching out work from our location. We got a new Twitter account up and running. It's called ZenCash Scandi, so please help us by following us there and get the latest updates from what's going on in Scandinavia. We also got a Facebook page that you're invited to like. And last but not least, we got a little funny story here. ZenCash Miner made it to the cover of Norway's biggest business newspaper a few weeks ago. And ZenCash was mentioned on the front page of that newspaper. So that was quite fun to read. So, well, that's it from Scandinavia. Back to you, Rob. Thanks.
Awesome, Andreas. When I saw that newspaper article, that was pretty cool. So hopefully we get more of that. And let's see, Luca, are you available?
Ciao, Roberto.
Ciao, Luca.
Ciao. Hello, everybody. So from the Italian market, I have to say I want to share with you feedback of a growing interest in ZenCash. I think it's in line with the growing interest that we are seeing globally. More and more people are approaching our project, and more people are also opening wallets. This is the result of our marketing activities and the dirty job, that there is behind all this. So meeting the people which might be students in university or people in events. I'm really happy about how things are going. I can also see that we are getting mentioned more and more on social medias. The Italian Facebook page, which is ZenCash Italia, has now 400 likes. So it's a good number. I hope it will continue growing with this trend. I could see some people joining the fan art competition that was organized. All women, also here, I have to say, power to women. And we had some beautiful graphics. Among them, an artist which I contacted personally. Anna Rovera is one of the most talented and famous artists in Italy. She won the Watercolorist of the Year 2017 prize. So we're speaking about a very talented and very followed person. Is now accepting Zencash as the only cryptocurrency she's now accepting for her painting. So it means that you can buy whatever painting she does, or whatever portraits, and pay in Zencash. So probably the first watercolorist or maybe even painter accepting Zencash as a way of payment. Regarding all the rest, we are supporting the Italian localizations for newsletters. So please subscribe to our newsletters, or simply follow also the Italian channels, not only the global Facebook and Twitter pages, but also the Italian ones, because we will be posting the newsletter translated in Italian, as well as I'm handling the entire website translation. So soon the website will also be available in Italian. Finally, among the other documents, I'm doing a secure notes guide, and the white paper, the original white paper, is also coming in Italian. Back to you, Rob.
Great, Luca. That is really amazing about Anna. We'll have to check out her portfolio to see which painting to buy.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's great. And speaking of white paper, just so you guys know, I posted an update to the white paper version 2. Will be scheduled for release on February 9th. So, Luca, as you translate, you may want to hold off for V2. It's up to you. There'll be obviously a large amount of overlap.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for mentioning it.
Yeah, no worries. So next up would be Hugh for the Kenya market. I don't believe Hugh's available, but if you jump on Hugh, just interrupt to me anytime. Otherwise, I'll just cover your slide. So Hugh's been working on core social media infrastructure in Kenya. So he set up a Facebook group for Zencash, Instagram, WhatsApp group, Twitter account, Zencash_Africa, and set up and actually successfully conducted his first meetup at Strathmore University. And for Nairobi Innovation Week, there'll be a side event for cryptocurrency he'll be attending. And next week, there's a second meetup in Nairobi he's organizing. So actually, a lot of really great work for just starting, Hugh. Great job. And next up, Angie, are you available to cover the Mexico and Latin America update?
Hello there. Yes, I am. Hi to everyone.
Excellent.
Well, we had pretty exciting the past weeks. We had a lot going on in here. We have some business talk with a possible integration with Quid POS, which is a very cool point of sale and an accounting system that obviously accepts fiat and crypto currencies. I had the chance to get to know the platform a little bit better. I was talking to the guys that made this possible, and they were very friendly, and hopefully we can integrate with them. I know that they have already some integrations with other cryptos, and definitely we want to get Zencash listed on their coins in there to accept payments, and also to spread a little bit more our reach in these point of sales systems. We also had some pretty cool publications and interviews with Panda Noticias that, as always, they have been super supportive with us. They're from Colombia. And also with another crypto news, which is called Crypto Al Dia, also from Colombia. And they also wrote an article about Zencash, and they were trying to get to know us. So we want, of course, continually working with them. And also there was an interview of Rosario Senchik and me with the Arcane Bear. The Arcane Bear is a media channel and news and video that they are all involved in this whole crypto space. They are in a lot of different events all around the world. So they had the courtesy of making us an interview, and it was pretty cool, pretty great. The first meetup in Monterrey, Mexico, it's been announced. We have a date now. It's gonna be taking place at El Cowork here in a very good kind of like a co-working place with a lot of people and so on in March 29. And also I wanted to announce a new member, and he is called Ruben Elizondo, which is he's gonna be helping us with the part of the community management, some technical translations to Spanish, because we've been having a lot of demand in this part, and also to have a partnership with Tecnológico de Monterrey, which is kind of like one of like the top of universities of Latin America. It's kind of like the MIT from Mexico. And he has a background in mechatronic engineering, so hopefully we can get a lot of support and things that we want to do in here in Mexico and in other Latin American countries. Thank you, guys.
Cool. Thank you, Angie. So next up would be the Japanese market update from Tega and Sebastian, are both working there. I don't believe either of them are online.
Hello, Rob.
Oh, great. Awesome.
Yeah, this is Hugh. This is Hugh from Kenya.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry, there's a bit of an interaction.
No problem, Hugh. Thank you for joining. So I actually already went through your slide, but do you have any other things you want to say?
Yes, I just wanted to mention about the Nairobi Innovation Week. So it's an event that happens every year. And this year they were focusing on cryptocurrency. And there was also a brief discussion about Zencash. And then tomorrow there's also an event on cryptocurrency at Strathmore University. They'll be trying to explain how the government can accept such mode of payments. So I'm hoping also to be there and also to give insights about Zencash.
Hugh, that is awesome. Thank you very much for chiming in there. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Nice to see. Great. So, okay, the Japanese market. So these guys are taking a very methodical approach to developing the market, and they're starting with market analysis that they're working right now, which involves detailing all of the exchange platforms that we want to work business development on, and creating a summary of intelligence report for us. They're working a ton of translations, so secure node documentation, blogs, website, the Horizen wallet translation by V2T Mobile. Thank you very much. And they're looking at possible collaboration with a Japanese focused marketer. So that would be really good to start really kicking off our effort in the huge market. And just a general update. So they attended blockchain EX event about the sharing economy and traceability and decentralized internet. So good stuff coming to them, and we'll continue. We'll continue updating you guys on country growth. So okay, the next thing I want to talk about real quick before we finish was a great idea from @Janner on Discord with a Zencash fan art competition. So this started off. I didn't realize the impact it would have, but it turned out like awesome. So you can see some of the submissions, like really high quality submissions that we have here from the community, just really cool stuff. So some of the artwork actually made me just crack up hilarious. I love the wrecking ball in particular and the Yoda. So the submissions turned into three top award winners here. So first place went to @Lindsay with Yoda with Zencash mining under his desk and his wallet open on his desk. That was absolutely hilarious and absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for the submission. And number 2 @Anna Rivera, really cool artwork here for the second place, awarded by the community. And number 3 place went to @Letty with another pretty hilarious Zencash graphic here. So guys, thank you so much. This will not be the last artwork competition. This just went way too well to not do it again and again. So expect more of this in the future. So last thing that I wanted to mention here are upcoming events and conferences. This actually, half the events here are already done. So the World Crypto Economic Forum was something that I had the opportunity to speak at in San Francisco last week. It was actually a really good conference, and I had a 5-minute pitch where I think I shocked the audience by saying we need a lot more transparency in this industry, and I'm not too impressed by a lot of the ethics out there on some projects and some people in the industry. So I think we need a really big wake-up call for the industry to self-regulate and head off any problems before we just get regulators, slamming down on us. So that was my big talk there. It went really well. Then I sat on a an and I was able to talk about all of the cool transparency and governance stuff that we're doing with Zencash. And then I had an R&D interview by Amy Castor, an independent journalist based out of Cambridge, Massachusetts, where she interviewed both Charles Hoskinson and I. Charles is the CEO of IOHK, and the big point of the interview was to have a video of the two of us discussing the importance of our partnership for research and development. And we talked about the two major projects that we have ongoing, which are the Treasury voting system built into our protocol and our scaling research, where we're looking to be the first snark-based DAG protocol in the market with a really unique DAG protocol that is actually optimized for proof-of-work mining. So that was a really cool and fun interview by Amy, and you guys can view it on YouTube now. And then we have Rolf talking in Winnipeg, upcoming, I believe that's later this week, and meet up in Cambridge, where I'll be in Cambridge, Massachusetts, speaking to a big MIT and Harvard crowd about, I think we're going to talk about our scaling and potential DAG application. So it should be a really good time, great exposure for the project. And you see a picture here, which actually cracked me up again. I thought was really awesome. The top right picture here is from Spencer in South Carolina. You see he awarded a 5 Zen check over here to a community member, which was really cool. So yeah, thank you very much, Spencer, for taking lead on that. So that's all I had here. Rolf, do you have any updates you wanted to bring up to the community while we're online?
No big updates. I'm excited to be able to talk about mining, and I'm really glad that you mentioned the potential DAG update is going to include proof of work, because miners have always been a strong part of our community here. And
yeah, absolutely.
and I'm working with Angie. I'm going to be making a quick trip through Latin America, stopping in Guatemala and Panama and Uruguay and Chile, and here in the next week. And so if there's anybody that's listening to this that would like me to stop in or get together very briefly for talking about Zencash or mining, happy to do that. Just reach out to me on the Discord. And that's all I've got.
Cool. Any Q&A from the audience here?
Let's see. Are we looking into ZK Starks? That's a question that keeps coming up. I don't know much about ZK Starks. I know they're a little bit newer, and there isn't necessarily as much. There doesn't need to be the big ceremony at the beginning. I think there was something that they take up a little bit more space on the blockchain. Do you have any more information on that, Rob?
Yeah. So actually, another part of the relationship with IOHK is they're standing up a Snark lab that we still need to work through the details of our participation, but we definitely want to participate there. And the Snark lab is all about forward research for using zero knowledge cryptography, and clearly a big part of that is going with Starks, which is all about removing the trusted setup. So it's I guess tentative is the answer, but it's certainly on our radar.
Let's see. Question on, is there an update on Ledger integration? So we have a team that's been working on the Ledger integration for a while now. And as you can imagine, the folks at Ledger are pretty busy these days. And the guy that really knows the software, and we're on the Ledger Slack, and we have a channel there that we talk to them. The guy that really knows the software in and out, I think he wrote it, goes by the name of BT Chip. He's also the CIO of Ledger, and they are growing rapidly. He doesn't really have a lot of time to help us on it. If it was just as easy as copying the Zcash Ledger application and making some changes for Zencash, that would be it. However, we have things that prevent transaction replay. So there's some additional things that need to go into the software. Did reach out this week and got a recommendation for a consultant from BT Chip. So we have the funds to pay for development. In some cases, just having funds to pay for development isn't enough. You have to have a working relationship with folks that can actually do the development, which is where we're getting closer on with Ledger. In parallel, we're also looking at two new hardware wallets that are coming out, the Trezor Model T, as well as the Open Dime, and they have the ability for coins to add themselves through using MicroPython, which I believe is a bit more programmable than what's being done with the Ledger. So there is progress that we're making on hardware wallets. It's important to every one of us. We just don't have results to announce yet.
Cool. So we've got a question on YouTube of what impact do you think Bitcoin Private will have on Zen? Will this be a big competitor? So I want to be a little politically correct with this and say I don't want to discount any competition. If they could pull off everything really well and they actually execute and build a real team and turn into a legitimate project, then sure, it could be a competitor. As of now, they don't have any of that, so it's really tough to say.
Let's see, country reps. How can people get involved in expanding the country rep network? So country reps are really important to us. Back to what Rob said during the presentation about we have always wanted Zen to be very usable. And very usable means wallets in every language and being able to have uses and integrations with different organizations, being able to accept payments, being able to do messaging, publishing, privacy, and things like that. It's not as easy as build it and people will come. We need to have people that understand our story and our capabilities and how to use Zen going out and talking to people all over the world. And that's what country or regional reps take the lead on. I'm not part of the folks that actually bring them on and all that kind of stuff. Rob, is that something that you want to talk to, or is there somebody else on the call that wants to talk to that?
Yeah, I mean, so one big thing is we're doing a team reorg right now, and basically we're kind of implementing a whole bit of professionalization of our team, and we're going to have a clearly defined hiring process. So I would just recommend people sit tight for about 2 weeks. And in the meantime, if you really want, you can submit a proposal to the forum like everyone else has been doing, kind of introducing yourself and look at the other proposals that are out there, particularly for those who want to be country reps. But realistically, we're holding off to execute our reorg before we expand the team. But once we do that, we'll have a nice professional, hiring process.
Great, and let's see, a question about some of the other announcements of projects coming out. Telegram announcing a project for doing messaging and I think Signal and other folks like that. There's a lot of projects that are out there. There's been a lot of ICOs. There's a huge market space in the blockchain. And the thing is, we can't control what other people can do at all. We can control, as far as we can do it, what we do, what we focus our time and attention on. And I think in some areas we have a first mover advantage and are using the blue ocean strategy of going to where other people aren't already having a presence. So I think that what we're doing with usability and privacy and getting out and getting people involved and having a large community is really the best thing that we can be doing, along with using the treasury funds for not only contracting with multiple parallel development teams, but also marketing and public relations. And for all of us that are involved, in it, to be going out and talking at conferences and meetups, and that's that type of groundswell of grassroots person-to-person contact is difficult for anybody to compete against. But again, we are doing what we think is best to make the Zencash successful. And if other folks come up with different projects and they have good ideas and systems, maybe we copy them. Maybe we wish them the best of luck. It's a huge space. There's a huge opportunity. There's room for a lot of different projects and for a lot of different organizations and cryptocurrencies to succeed. So the more the merrier is what I say.
There's a question on voting system rewards. So the detailed specs of this voting system aren't publicly released yet, but what I can say, there will be some percentage of the community fund that's available in each voting epic that will go directly to voters. Okay, it'll go to voters individually, and there will be a delegation option. So you could delegate your voting stake to others, and you'll still be getting a voting reward, and you'll be splitting that with the delegate. We don't have the specific parameters available yet for the public. And Rolf, you have a minor question.
Sure, absolutely. So right now I've got about, altogether in the 2 mining facilities that I have, about 450 mining machines. And working with a couple of other folks to buy another building so we can continue to expand. And that uses about 500 kilowatts of power. And we spend about $20,000 a month on electricity right now. So it's a good size facility. And what I tell everybody is I believe in having a mix of different cryptocurrency miners, of different algorithms. So at this point in time, we've got about 80% ASIC miners and about 20% GPU miners. And so sorry, what percentage of my GPUs are mining Zen? So I started out with AMD miners, AMD GPUs, and for the AMD GPUs, the R9 version are good at mining Equihash, and then I've been really doing NVIDIA GPUs lately, and those are good at mining Equihash. So the R9s and the NVIDIA GPUs are mining Zen, and the others are mining the AMD 480s and 580s are mining Ethereum Classic right now.
It's a lot of personal information you gave there, Rolf.
You know.
Okay, so any update on the iOS app development? So the code is actually Kendrick wrote the code for the both the Android and the iOS app software, but we released the Android app a while ago, and we've been sitting on the iOS one. We were actually waiting for an Apple developer account, which we have right now. But because we are going through this kind of a wallet refactor exercise, we're going to include the mobile as part of that refactoring and kind of new look, new feel. So we're holding off on just that set of kind of flagship wallets to release before we do that. Okay, any other questions?
Not that I see, really.
Yeah, I think we're good to go, and I'm pretty happy we kept this under an hour. That's pretty professional.
I agree. All right. Well, hey, we've got another update coming up in 2 weeks. There's a lot that happens every 2 weeks, and thanks to everybody for being part of the community and being so positive and supportive. And as we put the systems in place to be able to have everybody in the community contribute more with proposals and voting and other things like that, I think things are just going to keep getting better and better.
Definitely. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining, and I would say over and out. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.